Meredith.
Joe, how do you foresee yourself using both LeBlanc and Ramirez?
Ramirez is a multiple inning guy, similar to what a Warren has been, a Betances has been. He's thrown 3 innings. He's been a starter in the past. His last outing, he threw 3 innings and about 45 pitches. So it's a guy that you can use for multiple innings. LeBlanc is a long reliever in a sense, and maybe use him short from occasion if they got some left-handers coming up. But he's a guy that we need to get to know a little bit.
With Ramirez, what out of reports or what have you seen out of him that you like adding him to this roster?
Well, he's somewhat of a power guy with an outstanding changeup and a slider that has become better. Has the ability to strike out people. Can be a swing and miss guy at times. And as I said, he's been a guy that is used to going multiple innings because he's been a starter most of his career.
Teixeira back in the lineup. Is he feeling anything at all in that wrist right now?
He said he felt good. So I talked to him when he came in. He had a very positive day yesterday, and he said he felt good.
You had said the other day that he may feel it a little bit more from the left side than from the right side. Do you take that into consideration when you fill out that lineup?
Yeah, but we've been, in talking to him, and him saying that he feels good. I mean, obviously, then I believe there's no issue. Now, if the issue arises, then we have to adjust to it, like we did during the game the other day. But right now, everything's positive.
Kenny.
Joe, what have you seen with your infield defense, and how important do you think the shifting has been to cover up for maybe a lack of range?
Well, I think it's been important, the shifting. And I think, for the most part, we're definitely on a positive in the balls we've gotten to. Every once in a while, you're going to run into someone accidentally goes the other way, or the check swing, and those sort of things are going to happen. But I think it's been positive for our club. I'm in favor of it. It's an adjustment for everyone in a sense. We've had some hiccups along the way a little bit, but we've grown from those hiccups. But I definitely think it's helped our infield defense.
Sweeney.
Joe, do you get frustrated when a guy like, I think it was Carpenter a couple of times last week in St. Louis, beat you with it, and then you had one last night? I mean, do those frustrate you, or do you just kind of live with it?
No, I think you have to live with it because you can look at it the other way. If you don't shift, and then those balls that you miss, you don't get to because you didn't shift, are you going to be frustrated? So the thing about the shifting is you're playing the percentages, and for the most part, you're going to be right. But there are going to be those times that you're not going to be right, and I don't think you can let those few times that you're not right affect you too much.
Joe, do you anticipate Ramirez being here for good if he performs, or is this a tryout? What's your thought?
I mean, the nature of the business is if you play well, you usually stay. That's the nature of our game. So if he pitches well, I mean, he's going to pitch more. I mean, that's the bottom line.
I mean, that you.
We don't bring up a guy usually and say it's for a day, unless it's a split double header.
Right.
So he's getting an opportunity to be a part of our bullpen.
Mark.
Joe, a couple things. Murphy catching 2 nights in a row. Is McCann okay physically?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't catch him today and tomorrow, Mac. So Mac has caught Tanaka most of the time. I think every time. And Murph has caught Nuno all but once. So I figured, well, let's just do it this way.
Last night was just a lefty thing.
Yes, correct. Just a day off for him.
And with Tanaka, I mean, I know it's easy to say how good he's been this year, but how much has he meant to you guys in the distance he's given you, the wins he's given you, everything he's done? And, do you ever think about where you guys would be right now without him?
Try not to. He's been huge for us. The quality of starts, the distance that he's given us. So usually a night it's off for most of our bullpen, which has been extremely important with, some of the things that we deal with. So he hasn't been as important to us when you talk about the success that this team has had. He's been as important as anyone on our club.
Have you learned enough about him to feel good about, no matter what kind of rut your team is going through, that he's going to go out there knowing what he has to do?
Oh, yeah, I feel good about that. I mean, he's a guy that expects perfection every time he goes out there, expects to shut down the other team and give you a great chance to win. And I feel good every time he takes the mound.
Second row.
Kelly threw some hitters today. Are you expecting him to go to Trenton on Saturday? And
Yes.
Then is he potentially going to join the club if he pitches well in
Yeah,
Seattle?
I mean, we'll take a look at that outing, see how he feels, and then make a decision after that and decide, does he need another one or do we think he's ready to go?
Going back to Murphy, how do you think Gary Tuck has helped his development as a catcher?
A lot. I think Tucky's helped him a lot when it comes to the mechanical stuff and the mental stuff. I think, there's a lot of time spent there. And we've seen Murph improve leaps and bounds. And, he's got called up last year and played pretty well for us. And I think he's played really well for us this year. So I think that relationship is really important.
Meredith.
Is Monday in Kansas City pushing it for Kelly if things go well in the first rehab?
No, I wouldn't say so.
And then with Carlos, what's the latest on him?
He could possibly be in the lineup tomorrow. We'll make a decision tomorrow, see how he feels, and he could be in the lineup tomorrow.
Joe, it seemed like the road trip was kind of the goal for him originally. What changed?
That was a date that someone put out, and I just said, yeah, it's possible. The goal was, for me, possibly tomorrow. So I just didn't reveal it because sometimes if a guy has a day setback, it becomes a huge story, and I don't want it to become a huge story.
Dan.
So he's on his way, I would assume?
Yes, he is.
CC played catch today.
Yeah.
Is that, I know it's just playing catch, he still has to go off a mound, but is it encouraging to hear that he has no pain and
It's a lot better than we were 2 weeks ago, I can tell you that. He's out there playing catch today, and that's a sign in the right direction, and it's a step closer to getting him on a mound and getting him doing what we expect him to do. So how long it takes till he gets on a mound, I can't really tell you. We'll just take it step by step, but at least he's playing catch.
Anthony.
Joe, I think you'd said a couple days ago that when Beltran's ready, you'd foresee DHing him more than right field. Is that still the case?
That definitely.
And is that to prevent an injury or to, you know what I'm saying? Or
That's to try to limit the chances that the elbow acts back up.
Sweeney.
Joe, he's going to be in the lineup tomorrow unless he complains of something, right? Or unless his plane
Pretty
lands
safe
in
to
Maryland
say.
or something, right?
Yeah, pretty safe.
Mark.
Will you DH him exclusively, or can he play the outfield?
I think it will be a DH exclusively until a little bit later on. We'll just take this step by step. Our first goal was to get him back as a hitter.
And also, you talked about how you had no issues or no concerns about Robertson bouncing back. Warren and Betances don't have the experience that he does. Are you eager to see how those guys respond after the little hiccup last night?
Yeah, I'm not really worried about it. But, I mean, I guess, you'll see how they do. But I'm not really worried about it because I think their stuff has been very good, and I think their stuff will continue to be very good. They're going to make mistakes from time to time. It's going to happen. So I'm not worried about it, and I won't hesitate to put them back out there, but we'll see how they do.
Meredith.
Joe, they both threw a decent amount of pitches last night. Do you have
Yeah, I'm
both
not
of them?
sure what I have today. I'll have to check.
Okay. Thank you, Joe.